Back to the charts with Big Boss Crypto, and today will be a different kind of video as this is an emergency update regarding the state of the crypto market and the macro environment. So if you haven't watched our videos before on the channel, we have warned you about ever since September about the big market crash upcoming for not only Bitcoin and other cryptos, but for the stock market as well. And we will today pinpoint where we believe are the most likely bottom areas for the crypto market, such as Bitcoin, Chainlink, HBAR, bottom targets for the stock market, for the S&P, and the potential top for the US dollar dominance index, the DXY. So without further ado, let's look at the chart. Okay, then, with the recent news events regarding FTX, SBF, and basically all the other macro environment fear that's going right now, we need to try to take a step back, breathe, and be calm and collected. And we will show you where we will potentially bottom with the most likely areas that we will bottom in for Bitcoin, other coins, to basically be the generational opportunity of lifetime to buy the best coins for cheap. So, if we look on this technical analysis right here, I have written an area of interest right here with some different price targets, some other text, and some three lines right here. We can begin with these three yellow lines that I have drawn from 13,761 to 7,738 to 5,360. And basically, how I got these areas is with the help of this indicator right here, which is called the PVSRA, which is amazing as it basically shows the candles that have high amounts of volume and thus high amounts of liquidity. And why this matters is basically the big institutions and whales, they all look at these areas in order to fill in their orders as basically they have a humongous amount of cash that they need to basically fill in their orders, and it can't be possible without high liquidity. So therefore, price always, regarding what time frame you look at, price always retraces these areas when these candles basically draw either these green, red, blue, or violet types of candles, which signifies high liquidity. So if we look on the weekly time frame right here, we have a green candle right about 13,761 that will wait to be filled. Another one at roughly 7,738, and another one at 5,360. And the one in the middle right here is, it may not be shown as green as a have good candle on the weekly time frame, but if we look on the daily time frame, zoom out, we can see that we have a green candle on the daily time frame. Okay, then, now that we know that, we can uncheck these for now to hide all that mess. And then you can see that I've drawn a rectangle right here with some different price targets right here. And what I've written out here is the 1.61 trend base fib target at around $10,672. And how we got that basically is if we use something called the trend based Fibonacci tool extension from the April high of 2021 to the low to the all-time high, we can see that we have a 1.61 trend base fib target at around 10,672.72 that we have yet to reach. And as you can see right here, prices basically stopped out before at summer, basically had its wick down to a 1.414 target at around 18,000. Basically hovered around 1.414, 1.272 targets. And it's basically right now gearing up for the impulsive move downwards to this fib target. All right, then, if we unmark this one, and as I said before, with the lines I drawn, the help of this indicator, basically this price area ranging in between 10,662 to roughly right about 3,964 is basically a high liquidity area that basically is yet to be filled, and where the big institutions and whales want to revert price to in order to fill in their orders and prepare for the next bull run. Basically, that's how the big money people, smart money people work. And then I've written something called the 1.618 fib target and basically this is only a regular fib target with our fib retracement tool. We marked from the summer low to the all-time high. And once again, for the regular base fib target, we saw it wick to the 1.272 target, hover around there, and it's now basically gearing up and will most likely reach the 1.414 target at 12,000 and highly likely even reach, worst case scenario, even down to 3,964 US dollars. And finally, I've written key monthly support levels, which basically on the monthly time frame, you can see here, this price area has been a historical and significant key monthly support level. So if we unhide all that mess, with all the confidence factors, we this is basically the most likely bottom out target for Bitcoin. Moving on to our favorite altcoins, which are Chainlink and HBAR. So if we take a look at Chainlink right here, and even though we are super bullish on Chainlink and HBAR, but even though they are amazing projects, we still have more down to go and more liquidity to grab to the downside. And you can see our video on screen right here where we believe Chainlink will bottom out around $2. So how do we get the bottom target? Well, as before, we notice that we have an unfilled high liquidity candle, which is basically high liquidity candles with a price gap, as you can see right here, on the monthly time frame. That ranges in between $2.24 to $3.17. And then I've written something called the POC. And what POC means is basically point of control, which is basically, which I got with the help of this tool right here called the fixed range volume profile. In between the blue lines and the red line right here, this basically shows the price areas where the most volume exists, which is about 70% of the total volume for Chainlink in its history, all the way from its inception to the all-time high on the chart. And with the red line being where the most volume is, and thus most likely the most liquidity on that price area. And we can see that on the point of control, it's roughly at $2.26. And furthermore, we have key support levels you can see here on the monthly time frame. This has been a historical and strong support level to hold ever since 2019, 2020 with the scary dump we had in March of 2020. And thus, we strongly believe that Chainlink will bottom out in this area, which is right about 3.4 US dollars to 2.26 US dollars as well. Most likely coming down to the point of control as well. And this is where we will load up our Chainlink bags. Moving on to HBAR. Same principle right here, but we have written two areas of interest right here. Basically, we have a big green unfilled high liquidity candle right here from January of 2021, with the point of control as well, coinciding on the same price area at 0.035 US dollars, as well as strong key monthly support levels, and the price area between 0.0364 to 0.0273 US dollars. So watch how price will react in this area, as we strongly believe this might be a strong area to load up your H bar. And then we have another area of interest right here with another unfilled high liquidity candle with the value area low, which is basically the low range of the fixed range volume profile tool where the measured volume is at 0.0095 US dollars, which is very low and unlikely compared to the other area of interest to reach. But hey, we have unfilled high liquidity there, so who knows? And also we have key support levels on monthly, weekly, and daily time frame as well, in between 0.0155 to 0.0095 US dollars. So you never know. It's an interesting area to note up. And regardless, we strongly believe that in either of these areas, H bar will bottom. And finally, let's take a look at the stock market of the S&P and then the US dollar dominance index, the DXY. And what's interesting to see here, if you look on the daily time frame, when we had the chaotic price action for the crypto market, the stock market barely moved at all. Like, look at this on daily time frame. It barely moved compared to the crypto market. So this is basically worrying as to why we will reach those lower targets, as basically the stock market needs to come down in order to control in order for the Feds to control inflation and basically reset the economy and prepare for basically an upcoming years of growth. And we have noted our areas of interest right here, which is the golden pocket fibs from the March of 2020 lows. Basically, if we take our fib retracement tool all the way from the lows to the all-time high, basically we have the golden pocket fibs, which is about 0.618 to 0.66 Fibonacci levels, which are strong reversal points. So this might be an area of interest for the market to bottom out for the S&P. But yeah, we more believe more, to be honest, that this area will be the bottom target, as we had the 1.61 trend base fib target, golden pocket target, and also the weekly 800 EMA, the monthly 200 EMA as support, and also unfilled high liquidity candle on the weekly time frame here as well. Thus, we strongly believe more in this price area being the bottom for the stock market. And if we finally take a look at the US dollar dominance index, we believe that it will most likely bottom out in this area right here, which is right about 128.804 to 144.599. And basically, how we got these price levels is if we draw our Fibonacci levels from the 2001 high to the 2008 low, we can see that we have our impulsive fib targets at 1.272 and 1.414 in between 134.7 to 141.85 roughly. So if we hide that one and draw our fibs once again from the highs of the 80s, excuse me, to the low right here, excuse me, it wasn't right on point. There we go. We can see that we have our golden pocket fib targets right about 128.804 to 132.753, and our 0.702 target at 136.701. And basically, these fib levels are strong reversal points, as I said before. Thus, we believe it most likely will top out in this area, then reverse backwards, and the new bull run will begin afterwards. So, we strongly believe that the DXY, the US dollar dominance index, will top out in this rectangle. That's all for me. Thank you so much for your time. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, or a dislike if you didn't. Please stay strong and stay safe in this rough macroeconomic period we are in right now. These are very dark days for crypto, and tough times will basically be ahead of us in the winter and early next year. And remember that none of this financial advice is owned for educational and entertainment purposes only. We are Big Boss Crypto. We're the most reals of the crypto YouTubers and crypto influencers in the space. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Big Boss out.